going? Hope you're well. You might remember from a little while back I said that I had something to show you in terms of some vintage cards that I managed to get a hold of. Honestly, I'd completely forgotten to even make the video until I remembered recently when I was going through the yellow Vault X binder, looking at some of my vintage cards, trying to work out what ones I was going to send to America to get graded by my Beckett or PSA. Haven't quite decided yet. It's quite an expensive thing to do, looking at around £10 to £15 per card on the grading, and then depending on what it's graded as, can then also increase the price a bit further. So it's finding the money to actually send it, and then having the extra money in case I need to pay more. So for example, that Shining Charizard I've got, if I was to send him off and pay £15 to have him sent and then graded, and then it comes back, say for example a PSA 7, it changes the value of the card quite drastically. So then they add sort of like a levy on top of the grading. It will cost a bit of money to get these cards graded, possibly. So it's working out what ones I want to send to get graded. What will be worth getting graded. So obviously the Shining Charizard is definitely going to be one. And some of the other cards that I managed to get hold of recently are definitely going to be going as well. Which brings me on to the whole point of this video. I have a friend, Mike, who sold me this box, which contains so much Pokemon goodness. I was astounded and didn't even... I'd completely forgotten some of these things existed. So going into the box now, taking the lid off. Some of you may remember the booster boxes, or the theme decks. Okay, so this was the Tempest. Obviously this box would have been inside, and it came with a combination of cards from the base set, the jungle set, and the fossil set, with obviously the Zapdos being the main card inside, which was the holofoil card from the fossil set. So inside this box there was the playmat, the collectible coin featuring Pikachu, a felt bag to put the cards in. So apparently they gave you the felt bags to put the cards in, not the counters to look after obviously the quality of the cards, I can only presume. The card list, the rule book, damage counters, and a tip sheet which was specifically designed for the Tempest deck. Now I can't remember off the top of my head fully what was actually left inside this box. So there's the contents, there's the playmat, and there's another playmat, the CD-ROM, the Play It for version 2. So this is the one that didn't come with a Machamp card. It came inside these boxes specifically, whereas the original Play game came with the Machamp first edition cards. Another thing that I'll get onto in a minute, because one of those Machamp cards has the Cosmos foil, as I found out recently, and they're worth a little bit more money than first anticipated, especially if they're PSA 10 grade. So in here there's a whole bunch of random cards. There's that Pikachu coin that came inside this box. Oh no, I take it back. There's the Pikachu coin that came inside this box. It's the metal one, which if you go back to my 100 subs video, which I'll link in the eye, wherever it's going to be. I think I used to keep pointing over here, but it's actually going to be here. So let's get that right. Right up here in the eye. I'll link the video for my 100 subs thank you, where we went through another box of old vintage cards, where I also got my Shining Charizard from, and the metal Pikachu coin was in there as well. So there's a handful of cards in here. There's The felt bag's still rolled up and never used, so that's very cool. All the damage counters are in here, and there's also a handful of Pokemon Tazos, which you used to get in the packs of Walker's Crisps, just to display a couple. The Pikachu and Raichu one. They're like 3D sort of changing. And there's a Cyndaquil, Typhlosion. Wow, very cool. Anyway, just to go through some of these cards that are in here, just a load of random cards from, actually, as it happens, a load of different sets. There's a couple of first edition Gym Heroes, I think. First edition Gym Heroes cards in here, so that's very cool. I'll definitely be going through this box in a bit more detail and separating the first edition cards. If there's any in here that are really, really good condition, then the first edition cards are always worth getting graded because they're in such low quantities. They can have quite a high price on them. But yeah, just looking through some of these very briefly. I'll go back through them all again in a second, but Holofoil Energy, Holofoil Metal Energy, that one. Never seen one of those before like that, so that's very cool. Yeah, so there's a first edition Neo Genesis, Neo Destiny. Can't remember. I'm gonna go Neo Genesis because that's the one with the 2 white stars off the top of my head. I might be wrong. I might be very, very wrong. Just going through the other stack of cards that's in this Tempest box. There's loads of energies, like random unknown in the middle of the energies. Gym Heroes cards, Gym Challenge cards, base set 2 cards by the bucket load, and there's a very good reason for the base set 2 by the bucket load cards in here. And we'll be getting onto that very, very shortly. Oh man, this is just so nostalgic, this, honestly. Random cards in there from the Japanese or Chinese set I can never remember, but they've got those awesome backs on them compared to obviously the standard one. Very cool. Some of these cards are really, really not in very good condition at all. I can only hope that once I go through these properly and sort them out, the first edition cards are in a lot better condition than some of the ones that I've seen in here from like the Team Rocket set. So that's the Tempest box, which that obviously came in it as well, and inside there is a sealed bag of damage counters. So we got that, a random first edition mysterious fossil just floating around in there as well. The Bodyguard theme deck, it's an empty box sadly, but that's very cool. That brings back some memories. Oh, Neo Genesis theme deck. That we're going to go through on camera properly. An empty Pro Select sheet. Aha. Okay, so maybe that disc in the Tempest box didn't come in there and it actually came in this, which would explain the Cosmos Foil Machamp. Oh no, I take it back, because there's the disc. No card in there though. Anyway, by the looks of it, now we get onto the main event. So there's a big old bag of common cards and energy cards in there, which will be interesting to go through. And then another load of random cards just shoved in the bottom of the box as well. Ooh. This is very, very cool, guys. So that empty Pro Select sheet in here. So I've not gone through this box properly, really. I've gone through these sheets of cards and I've taken out the ones that are worth the money and put them into the yellow binder already, so that they're in sleeves and they're safe inside the binder. It was only a very, very brief go through, but these sheets were and are, for the most part, and these ones are rare, they're in numerical order, so they've already all been sorted out and put into numerical order for the base set. Just double checking the Pikachu then to make sure it wasn't the red cheeks error. I've gone through all these sheets as well to double check, make sure none of them are shadowless. Sadly, they none of them are shadowless, so there's not what I would call big money on these cards, and some of them, most of them, are all in played condition. So that's the base set lot there. And then an even smaller amount of sheets, but not the end of the world all the same, with these ones, which are base set 2. Now base set 2 was a mixture, just like in the Tempest box, of base set, jungle and fossil. So you've got cards in there from the base set like the Dugong, but then you've also got cards in there from the jungle set like the Butterfree. So yeah, it was just sort of like a rehash of the favourite cards, I think, of those previous sets. So what there's like the Execute was jungle set, the Drowsy was base set, but they've all got the base set 2 logos on there. And like Charmander. But as you can see on these pages, there's a lot of empty gaps, and that's because they were in numerical order, and the gaps were left to fill the rest of the order. But some of the gaps are because there were some holofoil cards. Oh yeah, holofoil cards that I've already taken out, like I said, and put into that Voltex binder. There's a few rares at the bottom of this one. There we go. Got the Aerodactyl, Articuno and Ditto, all non-holographics. There's the Muck at the top of that page. On the back side of this one, there's the non-holographic Dragonite, Hitmonlee, Lapras, Magneton, Moltres. That Magneton looks like it's been through the wash. The Dragonite's got a big bend going down the middle. Like I said, these cards are not, sadly, in great condition. They are played condition. There's some cards throughout this that are actually in really good condition as well. It is an absolute mismatch hash up of good and bad qualities. We've got a few rares on that side, like the Victory Bell, the Venomoth, another Butterfree there, but this one's also the jungle set one. There's the Wigglytuff, and then on this side even more of the rares, the Scyther with the jungle, Pinsir, Mr. Mime. You know, it speaks for itself. If you know your Pokemon, you know what you're looking at. And then of course jungly Pikachu, which was when he started losing weight compared to the base set where he started getting thinner. Until he sort of became the Pikachu that we all know, love and see on the more common cards today. Excluding XY evolutions, obviously. More of the commons, non-commons on there. But yeah, so that is pretty much the contents of that box. Some very awesome cards are in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin this camera around like I normally do, and we'll go through this Neo Genesis box real quick, and then I'll show you inside the binder all the holographics I've managed to get hold of that were, oh excuse me, yawning slightly, that were inside this box and in those sleeves. So let's spin this around. Okay, so here's that Neo Genesis or Neo Destiny box. I honestly can't read Chinese, but I think it was Neo Genesis. Now I've seen brand new sealed ones of these going on eBay for £250, but that's brand new and sealed, so everything's in mint condition still. This one's still got the counters and the coins all still on their press pad. There's packing slip. I guess you'd send it back if there was anything wrong, and you'd tick whatever boxes, put your information on it. Yeah, I'm not reading that. And then there's the book that came inside it, explaining what's in the box and everything to do about it, how you play. Very similar to the books that we get in the deck boxes now, really. Obviously this is just in a completely different language, goes without saying. It looks like on this side we've got a load of energy cards. Same fronts, different backs. And then there's a load more energy cards here, which are all still in this little plastic sleeve. So I'm going to try and slip those back in. So that's very cool. So they're pretty much all in mint condition, those energy cards. So that's an absolute win. Very cool Lugia coin there. Put that there. And then we have here what I believe to be the actual cards from the set. So this would, plus your energy cards, build what I guess would be your perfect deck for the Neo Genesis set. So one thing I have noticed is that you get some very exclusive artworks with these Chinese-Japanese cards, which you don't really get to see anywhere else. I mean, I know that one was repeated in the same set in the English version, but I don't think the Oddish is. Oh, look at that. So there's on the back. That's Togekiss holographic. And that Typhlosion holographic as well. Oh my god. Pop those down a sec. Those are beautiful, beautiful cards. Just going to check the condition on this one. Miscut very badly. I mean, it is so off center. Look how thin that border is compared to how thick it is on these two sides. It's just, the whole thing's just shifted downwards. Can't really tell with the back because the design's so different. That is a very cool card though. Same for that one. Again, it's all just... the picture itself looks like it's just on a slight slant because it's got no centering at all in that top corner and this bottom corner. It goes from very thin to thick, and then very thick to thin, thick to thin. It's painfully off center. quality control on that is just embarrassing as an Ariados. That card's looks like it's been through the wash. Mantine. Shuckle with an English Shuckle thrown in. I can only imagine that's come out one of the other packs by accident. Miltank, Ledian, Spinarak, Pikachu, Slowpoke, Onix, Quilava, Cyndaquil, Swinub, Noctowl, Piloswine, Hoot Hoot, Sentret, Furret, took me a second to remember its name, Sudowoodo, Fishing Rod, Arcade, whatever it is, and then the Audition Ledian from the beginning. So that is very, very cool. The holographic on those is awesome. There's a little swirl there on that one as well. A little swirl. I like me a good swirl. Apparently it increases the value of the card when you get a swirl. So these might be worth sending off. I'm a bit skeptical with the with the centering on them though. That is a bit of a worry. Pop these bits back in. Oh, come on. Really? I don't know why I'm bothering to put these back in the plastic sleeve. It's probably just going to fall off again. You know what? I'm not going to bother. Doesn't matter. Pop those bits back in. That Lugia coin can go back in because it belongs in there, as much as I'd like to keep it with my other coins. Wouldn't be a set otherwise. And now the boxes are closing. I don't want to damage those holofoil cards, so I'm just going to pop that to one side and I will fix that later off camera. Not going to spend any more time trying to sort that out right now. Get rid of that piece of plastic. On to what I would call in this video the absolute main event. I'm just opening up the binder off camera. I might have to do a bit of tricksy camera work here to try and get this to work properly, so bear with me while I try and move this camera. Hey. Okay. Holding the camera isn't ideal, but here we go, the main event, the holofoils that I pulled out of those sheets and put into their places in this book. Oh yes, you are seeing this right. Base set 2 holofoils, and I can tell you they are all in what I would rate personally at least a PSA 8, if not higher. 2 lots of the Blastoise, Nidoking, Wigglytuff, Alakazam from the base set, not the base set 2, that one. Same for the Hitmonchan. Sadly they are shadowed, not shadowless, and there's that base set 2 Chansey. It's a hair, not a scratch. But yeah, that is... I mean, the fact that there is a base set 2 Charizard in there as well, in holographic. He will definitely be getting sent off to be graded. And this is what I mean, I gotta like weigh up what cards to send and what not to send. So up here we have 3 Ninetales, varying conditions. I'll come back to the Machamps. We got a couple of Mewtwo's down here from the base set as well. This one is absolutely horrifying condition. There's the hollow bleed where the paint's come off, but this one is in a lot better condition. And use knows I loves my Mewtwo's. There's a Nidoking holographic. And back up to these Machamps. Now, 3 Machamps, they all look the same. They've all got shadows, they've all got first edition, they've all got the same number in their sets, but they are 2 the same and 1 different. Now, if I remember rightly, this one And this one are the two that are the same, and the one that's still in there is the different one. So if I pick that one up and just do that with it, you can see that it's got the stars on it, which is the standard holofoil. Same for this one, the stars. Bit more holofoil, that one. Yeah, those are the standard holofoils which you got in those base set boxes back in the day, the one that everyone got. However, I apologise for the really poor camera work here. It is very difficult to do this one-handed. Now this card here has the swirl, but instead of stars, it's got dots. Now this is what they call the Cosmos Foil Machamp. This one is even still in its original. I'll see if I can get it out without damaging it. Really apologise for the very poor camera workmanship there. It's still got its original sleeve that it comes in. Hasn't been taken out of that at all. So this one will definitely be getting submitted. Simply because it's got that massive swirl down there in the bottom corner. It's the Cosmos foil. If this was to come back as a PSA 9 or 10, it is worth anywhere between £200 and £500 from what I've seen, the ones that are selling of this rare Cosmos foil variant. So that is quite a rare card with that Shining Charizard, just because it could be worth an absolute mint. Just gonna try and brace the camera there. And there's a good shot of the back of my hand. This is where having two cameras would come in handy, but I still haven't worked out how to do it. So it is a work in progress. So I really do apologise for this incredibly shoddy workmanship with the camera. There we go. There's that sheet. And then over on this side, we've got the base set Zapdos, Raichu, Gyarados and Poliwrath. Now if I remember rightly, that Zapdos is in pretty much mint 10 condition, or it might have been the fossil one, I can't remember. But speaking of fossil, here we go, we got a holographic Articuno, Ditto, my personal favourite of the lot, the Dragonite, because of that rainbow background. We've got two Gengars, shout out to Lee. I know you love your Gengars, my mate. There's a Kabutops holographic, and then we've got three holographic Lapras, which is one of the hardest holofoils to have pulled from fossil, and it just so happens I've got three. One in very bad condition, one in, I'd say, probably a grade 7, and then another one in what I would say is possibly a 9, pushing a 10. But yeah, so that one will most likely be getting sent off to be graded. And on the back here, we've got the Fossil Zapdos, which actually now I look at it, I think that's the one that's in the mint pristine condition. We've got the Magneton, the Muck, and the Raichu. And on this page, obviously, we've got the two that I've definitely decided I'm sending off to be graded, which is the Rockets Mewtwo EX and that Neo Destiny Shining Charizard Secret Rare. Onto the next page, we've got the holofoils from the Jungle set. So we've got the Flareon, the Jolteon, Kangaskhan ×2, Pidgeot, Scyther, and another Scyther. Now, between these two Scythers, there's one thing that's different. A lot of people have said, oh yeah, that's obviously from the base set. No, it's a misprint from the Jungle set. It is missing the jungle symbol, and I can't remember the reason why the misprints happened. At least not right off the top of my head while I'm recording this video right now, but it is a misprint. It was printed without the jungle symbol on it. It is worth a little bit more, but not like loads and loads and loads. I'm talking probably 20 or 30 pounds more. And we got the Vaporeon, and then the holographic Venomoth. Over onto the next page, just a lonely Vileplume by himself. Go at the top. Then onto this page, we've got an Ancient Mew, which was released with the film back in 98 or 99. Got the Mew promo card, which was released at events across the world. I know that I got my one originally in my original set when here in my hometown they had a Pokemon festival on the seafront, along with the semi-finals, I think, at the time for the card game championships. So that was pretty cool. Got one of those in a goodie bag. The Shining Mew, which I got in my first lot of Facebook marketplace purchases. And we got the Rockets Magneton and Dark Weezing, both holographics. That first edition for Alligator, which needs a little bit of cleaning up around the edges because it's got these little black specks. I'll try and clean those off. That'll definitely be getting graded because it's a first edition. Again, at the beginning, didn't realise that that was worth how much it's worth. Holographic Steelix from the same set, not the first edition, and then the Kingdra. On the back here, we've got a few of these other ones, which I think I've already featured in one of my previous videos. So yeah, that's what's that's the what's in the box game for today. Some very awesome, very vintage stuff. Definitely looking forward to getting them graded in the near future. Obviously, the gradings will come back in a future video. We'll find out what the grades are then. I'll leave it a surprise, so you can see my reactions hopefully in that video to what the grades are. Yeah, exciting times ahead. Some of these vintage cards have brought back some real nostalgic memories for me, especially those Mews and that Dragonite from the fossil set. Very, very cool. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment down below. Until next time, stay safe.